daycare, right? And yes, I was playing Super Smash Bros. Melee, of course, and I was getting bodied, which didn't happen a lot, but today was a field trip day, which was usually the fun days, because we would go to skating rinks, arcades, and parks. And today, we're going to a nearby park, and basically, we're just gonna have a picnic type thing. Like, the teachers would bring sandwiches, pink lemonade, and we'd, like, play for, like, 30 minutes, then we'd eat, and then play again and leave. And the park field trips weren't the best compared to going, like, main event or something, but as a kid, running around a giant playground for hours was peak fun. So we all piled onto the bus and left for the park, and I remember passing out on the bus and then waking up there, and this place was huge. Like, it had 3 different playgrounds spread across like a 20-acre area, and it was my first time coming to this park, so I was excited. So after the teacher explained to us where we couldn't go, me and my friends ran off to one of the biggest playgrounds there, and we were trying to hurry up and get there so no one else can claim the entire playground, you feel me? But when we got there, Arnold and his friend group was already there, and if you remember Arnold from my Pokemon vid, you'll remember how me and my other friend straight up robbed this man, but he had it coming, okay? But we already told all other friends about our shady Pokemon dealings, so they all knew. They also think that he knew. I don't know, he never said anything, but he was definitely always pissed off when we were around, so I'm assuming he already knew we definitely robbed him. Anyway, he was already at the playground with him and his friend group, and they basically claimed this one because right when we walked up to the edge of the playground, before we even could take a step on the mulch, 2 of his friends, like guards, were standing right there. And then they told us to get lost because there was plenty of other playgrounds and they wanted to play tag within their friend group on this one. So me and my gang, being the nice children we are, turned around and walked over towards another playground. But when we got there was like 3 groups of girls already on the playground, and back then, you know how it was. I was in a stage of my childhood where girls had cooties or something, you feel me? So we turned around, and before even making the trip across the field to the other playground, which is the last playground of the 3, we see a couple kids claiming it already, so we were then left there standing in the field, like some anime, just standing there. But then Turner and our other friend Malachi told the rest of us that we should take the playground from Arnold and his friends, which was a wild idea. I was like, what are we finna do, spin the block on them, throw hands? And Malachi was like, no, we're just gonna convince them to let us play on the playground with them. And Turner and everyone else agreed. So we made our way through the very unkept and grassy field. It was full of bees and flowers and very tall grass, and I'm saying this because Malachi was allergic to bees, but none of us knew that yet. So we finally got to the playground, and Arnold and his whole squad were literally already standing on the edge of the playground waiting for us. We walked up to him, and it's just like an anime standoff, like just stare down between our friend group. And then Arnold went, we already told you guys we were using this playground, so go find another one, bro. For real. Nah, all the other ones are taken. There's plenty of room on this one, bro, so how do you stop acting like a child and move out the way? And after Turner said that right to Arnold's face, Arnold looked pissed. Like, he looked both way at his friends and nodded. Then they nodded, and I was like, what the hell is about to happen? Like, they both looking like they finna power up, finna have an ultimate showdown at this park or something. So while we were standing there, I watched 2 of Arnold's goons bend down and pick up a handful of mulch. Now, I don't think anyone else noticed because Arnold and Turner were still arguing over the size of the playground and if it was big enough for both our friend groups. And then Malachi was just standing there like a final boss. Bro had a health bar and everything. He was like super tall compared to the rest of us. But anyway, I see them grab mulch and quickly putting together that this might end up in a mulch war over the playground. So I step in and stop Arnold and Turner mid-argument and went, guys, the playground is obviously big enough for everyone to hear. So Arnold, how about you move on from whatever Turner did to you at that skating rink? That was literally the first week of summer. Like, there's no need to hold a grudge, bro. We've done nothing wrong, especially Malachi and the others. And then Arnold just looked at me and he looked still very pissed off. Like, for a second, I definitely thought bro was finna go Super Saiyan like Broly, and me and Turner are finna have to fuse and go Super Saiyan Blue. But Arnold backed up and said, nah, this is our playground. I don't care what you say, bro. Then he said, come on. And then him and all his goons got down, grabbed mulch, and all stepped up. And then we all stepped back, getting ready for whatever was about to go down. And then in the 15 seconds of silence where both of our friend groups were having a standoff, like, it was so tense you could see it in the air. We all hear, ah, ow, what the hell? We all look back at Malachi, who was standing there holding his arm, and he said he felt like something stung him, and he thinks it was a bee. And we're all just looking at him. Then he started to like freak out and like hyperventilate, and us being kids and very unaware of his allergy to bees, one of Arnold's friends bolted over to the teachers and told him what happened. And literally, he was like on the ground at this point, like breathing heavy and stuff. And 2 teachers came over with a first aid kit, and the 2 teachers like got down next to him, realized what was happening, went to the first aid kit, pulled out an EpiPen, and stabbed him with it. Which at that point, I didn't even know what those were yet. So like, it was very odd to watch them pull out this tiny sharp object and stab him in the leg with it. But the field trip ended early because of what happened, so it was a very quiet walk back to the bus, that's for sure. We kind of maybe felt like it was Arnold's fault Malachi almost freaking died because he made us stand in that bee-filled grass. And us personally, we weren't gonna let that slide.